The familiar neon glow above America's highways is dimming, and the clatter behind countless quick-service counters is falling silent as the industry's middle tier suffers its deepest contraction in a generation. From pizza empires that once bragged about 30-minute delivery to chicken specialists whose jingles seemed welded into popular culture, a widening roster of brands is trimming outlets, renegotiating leases, and, in hundreds of cases, abandoning markets entirely. A year of relentless food inflation, unyielding wage pressure, and a post-lockdown consumer who can download anything edible in 20 minutes has exposed structural flaws that accumulated quietly during the growth-at-all-costs era. Public filings, franchisee bankruptcy petitions, leaked lender decks, insider exit interviews, phone-based foot traffic analysis, and municipal land use dockets all point to the same verdict. Scale no longer guarantees survival. Only clear positioning, ultra-tight cost discipline, and flawless digital convenience do. Take Domino's, once the undisputed monarch of American delivery. The chain's refusal to integrate with third-party apps looked bold in 2019. By 2024, it looked reckless. DoorDash and Uber Eats now shoulder nearly 40% of U.S. pizza logistics, letting Papa John's, Little Caesars, and thousands of independents ride on algorithmic coattails and hijack Domino's core proposition. Management's fortress strategy, opening ever-denser clusters of small boxes to carve minutes off driver mileage, backfired. Cannibalization accelerated. Same-store sales cratered 13.3% year-on-year, and 800 global outlets, 400 domestic, were shuttered or scheduled for termination. Internal memos reveal average U.S. franchise EBITDA plunging below 5%, well under bank covenant comfort levels. America's one-time 30-minute standard bearer now posts the industry's longest average app-to-door interval in markets where it has lost exclusivity to gig couriers. Pizza Hut, meanwhile, becomes a case study in channel mismatch. It's retro. Dine-in red roof barns are too large for carry-out economics and too labor-heavy to battle Domino's on price. Conversion to the takeout Delco prototype costs roughly $450,000 per store. Franchisees facing flat credit lines prefer surrender. Result: U.S. unit count dropped below 6,000 for the first time since Reagan's second term, and more than 960 distinctive trapezoid roofs await rezoning across secondary highways. Fried chicken. Royalty fares no better. KFC's domestic share has slipped from 40% in 2002 to under 15%. Spicy challengers hammered home the perception gap. Popeyes generated viral mania with its brioche-based sandwich. Chick-fil-A codified fast casual hospitality. Wingstop devoured the bone-in snack niche. Yum! Brands recirculated 11 separate Colonel mascots in 8 years and still could not articulate whether the chain sells nostalgia or novelty. Franchise attrition now tops 1,000 stores since 2010. Whole Louisiana parishes and Arkansas counties, once bucket heartland, no longer host the Colonel at all. Behind the curtain, battered poultry futures, Pubbles at 38% above 2020 lows, and a tight labor pool made the pressure fryer model ruinously expensive. On the sandwich front, Subway's decade-long contraction is entering its steepest phase. After peaking near 27,000 U.S. locations, the once omnipresent green and yellow marquee has hemorrhaged more than 8,000 stores. The widely touted Eat Fresh, Refresh campaign fronted by Tom Brady and Steph Curry nudged top-line sales just 0.6%, but failed to stem traffic losses. Franchisees remain shackled to high food distribution markups and cannot match. Subway's national discount blasts without running negative margin weeks. Landlords, weary of 2015-era 5-year renewals, have begun leasing former sandwich slots to out-parcel coffee chains or cellular dealers who can pay double. Internal. FDD data leaked last quarter show nearly 1 in 5 franchisees on watch list status. 700 additional closures are expected before year-end. Steak and Shake and TGI Fridays, once staples of Midwest midnight cravings and suburban date nights, are dismantling even faster. Steak and Shake tried to splice a kiosk quick-serve model onto a retro table service DNA. Consumer response was indifferent, labor savings were offset by brand dilution, and traffic slid 11%. Parent company Biglari Holdings has settled 2024's banknote only by liquidating real estate assets. 60 more closures are scheduled, driving the fleet below 300, less than half its 2016 tally. TGI Fridays fared worse. Energy drinks-colored cocktails and plates drowning in Jack Daniel's glaze no longer excite millennials or Gen Z. Same-store sales fell 20%, and EBITDA spiraled into negative territory. Private equity backer Tri-Artisan has shuttered 150 U.S. outlets, quietly seeded UK operations, and is courting strategic buyers for remaining franchise rights. In frozen treats, Dairy Queen's seasonal dependence has become existential. In northern states, January to March sales can run 1/4 of peak months. Add a 35% spike in milk fat input costs, and the math breaks. 500 units have disappeared in a decade. Efforts to push grill and chill hot food menus stall because kitchen retrofits cost 6 figures and require ventilation upgrades. Small-town landlords reject. Meanwhile, boutique scoop shops and Instagram-ready custard trucks capture the premium end, while grocery pints capture the pantry fill side, leaving DQ's soft-serve plantation stranded. The recession-proof assumption about value menus evaporated under relentless price hikes. In survey after survey, consumers now report sticker shock at paying $12 or $15 for a combo that cost under $8 in 2019. 62% skipped at least one fast food visit in April for that reason. Urban minimum wage hikes, from California's $20 quick service floor to New York City's new fast casual classification, compound operator pain. A typical 3,000 square foot burger box in Los Angeles now runs a blended wage line 27% higher than in 2021, while chicken breader and oil costs keep climbing. The digital laggards are the first casualties. Chains without frictionless app reordering, real-time pickup queues, and proprietary loyalty wallets are seeding younger demographics to whichever competitor loads fastest on a 5G screen. Taco Bell's quarter-century lead in drive-thru novelty became meaningless once its app glitch rate spiked and Gen Z diners migrated to Chipotle's bowl customizer. IHOP learned the same with breakfast. When your main demographic can schedule a DoorDash drop of Belgian waffles from a ghost kitchen, a 45-minute table service ritual feels archaic. Franchise finance has become the silent accelerant. Pandemic. Forbearance deals expired. Floating rate debt on remodel loans now resets above 9%. Insurance premiums for urban units rose double digits after a spike in late-night vandalism claims. Private equity owners respond by triaging. Inspire Brands pours R&D into Sonic and Buffalo Wild Wings, leaving Arby's to shed 10% of stores. Focus Brands courts capital for Auntie Anne's and Cinnabon, while offering Moe's Southwest Grill quietly to bidders. Lenders, having seen Summit Restaurant Holdings, Hardee's, and multiple Papa Murphy multi-unit operators file Chapter 11, are demanding higher personal guarantees for renewals, forcing mom-and-pop franchisees to walk. A few chains defy the downdraft. Chick-fil-A still posts industry-leading sales per unit, though even it shuttered several high-rent urban sites. Popeyes grows double digits behind global sandwich demand. Jersey Mike's, with simple ops and loyalty tech, steals lunch share. But overall, the branded quick service count is contracting for the first time since 2009. Consultancy Technomic estimates net closures of 2,800 units in 2024 and projects a similar contraction this year. concentrated in legacy full-menu systems, whose revamped CapEx simply can't pay off fast enough. On the ground, the evidence is already tangible. Darkened red roofs on the interstate shoulder, moldy for lease signs where once glowed curly fry neon, suburban strip malls suddenly missing their sandwich anchor, leaving a gap that no amount of vape shops seems to fill. For every new digital native chicken finger box springing up, 2 legacy outlets fade. The neon alphabet of American convenience is being redrawn in real time, and diners who grew up on 31 flavors, bottomless pancake coffee, or upside-down free blizzards are learning the brutal arithmetic of a sector where sentimentality doesn't cover payroll.